It's been a bit, but I'm back, and I have to start with a huge thank you to everyone who watched that Noita video for getting it to 24,000 views. That is something I would have never anticipated. I just make videos for the fun of it. Whenever I get an idea and I have time to do it, then I do it. So, sticking on the same tracks as Noita, I'm going to talk about the grandfather of modern roguelikes, the game that skyrocketed the popularity of the genre. While Rogue itself may have made the genre, the Binding of Isaac brought it to the modern light. I'm a lot more qualified to talk about Isaac than I was Noita, with over 1,100 hours on Steam and a 100% save file. I know the game inside and out. Unfortunately, that's not necessarily a good thing because it makes my approach towards the game very different than it is for something like Noita. It's more clinical and methodical, unlike the chaos of my two brain cells smashing together and trying to comprehend Noita's wand building and getting myself killed like 2 seconds later. That doesn't mean I don't have anything to say though. Much like Noita, The Binding of Isaac is full of secrets, but they're not quite as obscure as Noita. Instead, when you first play the game, you will be met with a character select screen with each character having an empty post-it note, and the post-it note will serve as your method of tracking your progress on the character. In this instance, I have all of the DLCs, which is honestly just the definitive way to play the game. And so each post-it note holds 12 marks, 11 on the note, and the 12th being the note itself, which will crumple when completed. These 12 marks relate to 12 major bosses. On your first run of this game, you will not see a single one of these major bosses. You see, at the beginning of the game, a good 70 or so % of this game is locked away. You will slowly unlock the rest of this game by playing the game, getting achievements, and beating new final bosses with new characters. These unlocks include new characters, new items, new mechanics, new floor variations, and even an entire new pathway. Much like Noita, it's really hard to try and categorize all of this game's mechanics and unlocks because there is just so much. With all the DLCs, this game has 637 achievements, with basically every single one of those achievements unlocking something new that you can then find in your runs. This game changes each time you play it, and this method of keeping the game fresh and exciting has become my favourite method of game progression out of all the games I have ever played. So I think it's time to talk about some of this game's mechanics. I'll start with rerolling and secret rooms. Rerolling is very simple. You reroll the items that you find. That's what rerolling does. You can do this with the OG item, the D6, which Isaac will eventually start with once you've unlocked the achievement that makes him start with it. And you can also do it with other methods that I won't get into, but they're there and there's a reason I won't get into them. Secret rooms are, well, secret rooms. They're rooms that are not accessible via a normal door, like most of the rooms on the floor, and instead, you must deduce where they are and blow a hole in the wall to get to them. Each floor has 3 secret rooms. The normal secret room, the super secret room, and the ultra secret room. Normal secret room is always connected to 2 or more rooms, the super secret room is only ever connected to 1 room, and the ultra secret room, well, that isn't connected to any rooms, and can only be accessed by a very unique mechanic, which I'm not going to be going into in this video because it's related to a certain side of this game that will probably serve as an interesting surprise for those who are interested in the game and decide to look into it themselves. Secret rooms have a rare chance to contain an item, however items in this game are allocated to item pools, depending on what room you're in. The secret room item pool contains some of the most powerful items in the game given how rare they are. The D6 will always reroll an item based on what room you're in, so these two are like a match made in heaven. Oftentimes finding ways to get items into the secret room and then begin re-rolling them to try and cycle them into the super rare broken ones is the way to break your run in the best way possible. I don't know if I should leave that in or not. That was break your one. I mentioned there being 12 major bosses earlier, and I'm going to elaborate on that a bit, as well as the structure of the game. You go deeper into the basement, down through the floors, until you get to the final floor and you beat the final boss. Kind of. There are many different ways to alter your path on your way down, including beating time limits for major bosses such as Boss Rush and Hush, or collecting key pieces to fight Mega Satan at the end. Yes, Mega Satan. Satan is a boss in this game, but Mega Satan is a different boss. Around this point, it will become clear that the themes of this game are a little bit grim. The story itself has heavy religious themes, obvious from its title, and eventually you will come to the point in the game where you will defeat Mum and then move into the next floor, Womb. I will not be elaborating any further on this part. In the most recent DLC, Repentance, the game adds an entirely new path which is unlocked after you have beaten Hush 3 times. This spawns as a new door in the boss room on the first floor, which will lead to Downpour. This alternative route is harder than the main route, which, if you are new to the game, this will be an intimidating thought, considering the normal route will kick your ass for a good while. Downpour will lead to the mines, which will lead to the mausoleum, which will lead back to the womb. That is unless you complete the secret quests on the way through the alternate path. So, if you want to make your way to the 4th and final new floor, be ready. I will not be elaborating on things that don't make sense to someone unfamiliar with this game, because I'm doing it to inspire curiosity about the game, not explain it all. So, firstly, find the white fire and the mirror on the 2nd floor of Downpour. Become the Lost and enter the mirror dimension. Find the item room in the mirror dimension and pick up the first knife piece. Next, find all the buttons on the 2nd floor of the mines to enter the abandoned mines for the 2nd knife piece. Once you get the 2nd knife piece, run. In the mausoleum, beat the cracked up Mum fight and then use your newly assembled knife to break open the flesh door. Then once you have beaten the cracked up Mum's heart fight, you can enter Corpse. Yep, the corpse of Isaac's mum is an area in this game. This is a difficult area and will only end with a difficult final boss, Mother. Doing this with one character will give you 1 checkmark on that character, and as such, 1 unlock. Also keep in mind, there are normal difficulty and hard difficulty variants of each of these checkmarks. You will need to do everything on hard for 100% and all the unlocks. Now keep in mind, there are 34 characters in this game. All unique, different starting items, and many of which have unique game mechanics entirely tied to that character. There's a lot to see, a lot to unlock, and a lot of gameplay and replayability. This is a game that took me about 900 hours until I had finally 100%ed it. There is no way I can sit here and break down all the different mechanics of this game. Nor do I want to, because the point is not to explain the game away. The point is to explain why I like it so much, give some examples, and hope other people agree and check it out, really. Many of these mechanics will require you to find the 3rd alternative path, leading to my favourite final boss in this game. And yes, you heard me correctly, I highly recommend checking that out if you're interested in the game. There is a 3rd alternative path. So instead, I'll end this off by showing you one of my favourite items in this game to demonstrate just how much a single item can alter your run. This is TM Trainer. This is a controversial item because picking it up can either be a guaranteed loss or a guaranteed win. That's because TM Trainer replaces all future items with glitched items. Glitched items are the dev's idea of just saying fuck it and throwing game balance out of the window entirely. It's glorious. Glitched items have completely randomized names, effects, and sprites, randomized with absolutely no checks in place to ensure they function well either. In this instance, some glitched items caused my items to reroll multiple times a room, besides the glitched items themselves, and just cause complete havoc. TM Trainer is a funny moment simulator that can either hand you a free win, or break your kneecaps, tie you to an F1 race car, and start doing donuts just to spite you. This is exactly why you take it, because it's funny. It's also incredibly rare and only found in the secret room item pool. So by this point I've said everything I want to say anymore, and I'm just documenting the features of the game and no longer demonstrating some key features that make me love it so much. If you've enjoyed the Noita video, and Noita by extension, then I think there's a good chance this game's right up your alley. If you haven't already given it a shot, that is. Unlike many of the games that I've made videos on, this game is immensely popular. It's sat at overwhelmingly positive with 200,000 reviews on Steam, and it's one of the most popular indie games going. So there's a good chance you're already well aware of this game's existence. Now, I didn't put this bit in my script, and I generally write a script because sometimes I will struggle thinking of what to say, and I end up with long pauses between my sentences. I think that's probably just a confidence thing, to be fair, but I reckon I can get this next paragraph out without my script, and that's the fact that on track with the topic of The Binding of Isaac, I have been making a mod for The Binding of Isaac. Myself, entirely. I've been coding it. I've been doing the sprite work for it, albeit basically editing existing sprites because I am not the world's greatest artist. But I've got a lot of progress into that mod so far, and I'm really happy with the way it's panning out. And that is what my last video was. It was essentially a demonstration of the mod to upload to its workshop page. So I'll also link that down below, because if you're a fan of Isaac, and you watched this because you're a fan of Isaac, and you just wanted to see someone else talking about how cool Isaac is, which, let's be honest, that's completely valid, I would do the same, then, you know, check out the mod on Steam Workshop. I'll link it down below. Maybe you'll enjoy it. Maybe check the video out for the mod demonstration. Thank you so much for watching, and once again, thank you to everyone that got the Noita video to 24,000 views. It's truly an amazing experience, being such a small channel with like 300 subscribers now, and still seeing so many people enjoying something that I made. I will see you in the next video, so if you want to see a next video, please do subscribe, and thank you very much.